Ooh, that reminds me. I think for our next episode of round 4, to promote the episode, we should get 3 chairs and put our names on the back of the chairs. The third chair will be the name of our guest for the episode. What do you think?
I think that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
What? I thought that was cool.
I liked it too, but that's fine.
Why was it dumb?
First of all, did you see the 2-minute one or the 5-hour one?
Oh, the 2-minute.
There was a 5-hour long live stream where they just revealed a new chair every like 15 minutes.
Well, that's dumb.
Didn't watch that, but that's dumb. And
Didn't know that.
all it screamed to me is desperation.
Agreed.
I mean,
Absolute desperation.
yeah.
I am so not excited for, no offense to them because they're two of the greatest of all time, for Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen to come back, barely able to walk, I have to imagine at this point. Trying to be like, I'm still Magneto. Just stop.
The thing, I would be mad at you. But the only reason I'm not is because I know that if the movie is good, you'll admit it.
100%.
Because you saw Captain America, which is a movie that I thought you were going to hate, and you were like, no, I actually kind of liked it. So I know that no matter what kind of press or what...
It's not great, but yeah. If I leave the thing enjoying the thing, I'll admit it. But all of this stuff that they do prior to the thing is to get us feeling a certain type of way about the thing. And this is how I now feel about it. It's freaking stupid.
Was it you watching Infinity War on my Vudu?
Yes.
Nice.
Reminded me of better times.
Aww.
I don't know. I just feel like I saw the chair thing and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, I like how I also liked it. Like, I think it would have been maybe better or like more exciting if they just like didn't reveal who else was going to be in it, unless this was no knowledge, because I don't follow anything that's anything.
There were rumors.
And to be fair, like from an outside perspective, like if you asked Maggie 6 years ago what was going on behind the scenes of the MCU, she'd be very plugged in. But since starting her job as a lawyer and since being a mom, she's just not plugged into the news. I still am, but not nearly as much as like Nick or other people are behind the scenes. But she was very excited by it. Again, I think it was stupid that they were chairs and everything. But at the same time, I like the hype of like going towards a new Avengers movie, even though I said to Maggie, like I said to her when it ended, she was very excited. And I said, there's some notable names missing. And she was like, well, who? And I said, Cumberbatch isn't on there. Tom Holland's not on there. None of the Guardians are on there. What?
There'll be another one.
Oh, I know. And so she basically said, well, what if the story doesn't? I was like, Maggie, whatever the story of this movie is, is going to be bullshit. So I started kind of jumping down that like negative anthill, and then no pun intended, but then I reminded myself that the people that watched that video and saw all those names, the only people that knew what any of that meant were people like us who are nerds and very, very into this. But I stand by the fact that the majority of people are going to go to the theater one day because this movie comes out in a year.
It better be the majority of people with how much money they're probably spending on it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the majority of people are going to go to the theater in December to see Avatar, and a trailer for Avengers is going to come on, and they're going to go, "Oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's that guy." Like they have no idea, and they don't care.
And that's all they have left.
Well, I'm saying that I agree. That's what's going to get people into the theater. Is that's all they have left. That
all they have left is taking characters from things they didn't make that people like because what they have now people don't like. Because
I think it's also
they've had no plan.
I agree.
Because they've had no plan. When Avengers Infinity War was happening, we knew where everyone was. We knew Cap, Sam, and Black Widow were on the run from Civil War. We knew Black Panther had just opened up to the world. We had just become friends with Captain America and had Bucky. We knew Thor was out in space and Thanos was attacking it. Like, we knew where all the players were. Here,
yeah,
Doomsday is going to happen, and we won't have resolved the power broker situation.
Yeah,
and we won't have resolved. We haven't seen White Vision since then. We haven't seen the Eternals. Where are they?
Yeah,
none of them are on the cast list. I don't know if you noticed, but and here's the thing: like, dumbest decision ever to make Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom.
Oh, we've talked about it on record before. Like, this isn't the first time we've talked about it. And
it is the peak of, here's a thing you like, please come back.
Yes, I am of the opinion that we've talked about it, you and me, we talked about it with Jacoby briefly, we talked about it with Robert pretty extensively. So we've talked about this, but yeah, I'm still of the opinion that, and you and I are in different places, and I love that we're talking about this like it's a marriage, but it is. But I'm in the space of
divorce.
That's what I mean. Like, you're separated. I'm still clinging on, hoping for the old times. But I'm of the opinion that I disagree. I agree with you that Robert Downey Jr. being Dr. Doom is fucking stupid. I love Dr. Doom. I want to see Dr. fucking Doom, but instead we're going to get a Tony Stark variant that's going to be Dr. Doom, and it's going to be fucking stupid. But if the movie is good, I will still sit there and say I would have preferred this, but I can admit this movie is good. But it almost automatically doesn't hit, like, it can't be perfect because of that. Wakanda Forever is a great example. I like it more than you do, I think. I would have liked it more if they had recast T'Challa.
I agree.
But I still liked the movie.
The MCU in itself is a TV show, which is why doing TV shows within it was stupid. But so the Avengers movies are the season finales of the TV show. So just think about watching a TV show where the whole season, where the whole season has been absolute crap, and now you're supposed to get excited for the finale.
In this instance, I don't know that I agree with that sentiment. I would say that yes, old MCU in its glory, that is what they were trying to do. But there hasn't been an Avengers movie in the last 2 phases. So
fuck the phases. Who gives a shit about the phases? They mean absolutely nothing.
I agree. They mean nothing now.
Since Endgame, we've been on one long, bad multiverse saga.
Yeah.
And it is culminating with these 2 Avengers films. And they're in a shitty place, so I don't care. Anna.
Hi.
You've seen the MCU one time.
Yep.
Did you know who Dr. Doom was? Do you care? Are you excited? Were you like Robert Downey Jr.? I like him.
But you know what? Hey. Anna,
what are you off a lady?
What are your highlights of the MCU though? What do you like
about bad stuff?
No. What do you like? What are your favorites? What do you vibe with?
Be negative.
Oh my God.
What do you vibe with? What's the good stuff? Let's go back to the glory days.
I'll kind of combine all of those questions. So I think obviously, like, my favorite would have to be like Infinity War Endgame, which is like, I also watched it in the theaters and it was so cool. And like also Spider-Man, No Way Home. That the last one? Yeah. So me and my friends literally, like, it was, what year did that come out? 2020?
21.
Okay. Like, it was like right after COVID. Me and my friends are like sitting in my living room after like not having hung out for a while. And we're all 4 of us have computers out trying to buy tickets for the Spider-Man movie. And it was so good. Like, those movies are obviously top notch. I was confused. Like, when I saw Robert Downey Jr., I was like, but he's old now. So like, And like, I just like, yes, he was like a good Tony Stark, but like, I can't like see him now carrying that over to a completely different character. Like, I just think he should have, like, it's just so frustrating because it's like he had a good ending, he had a good run. His death was like obviously heartbreaking, but that's what you want. You want to feel something that made people feel something. And now you're bringing him back. It's like taking everything we just felt and like being like, oh no, just kidding. Look, he's back. And it's like, no, like that's not. It's like, I mean, this is kind of going off track, but like there's a book that I just read and it's like about a war. It's the one that Maggie likes. And it's like, but the book that I read, Akatar, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yeah. So I just read the third book. And
it's about a war, is it? I think you mean.
No, there's only 2 chapters. And so, but anyway, the last like, I don't know, 10, 15 chapters were like leading up to the whole book is leading up to this war. And like the war ends at the end of the book, obviously. And spoiler alert, like no one dies. And I was like, but now there's like no, it's so inconsequential because now no one has died.
Yeah, I
guess it's not the same, but
no, I feel that I don't know if it necessarily translates specifically to the RDJ thing, but like I remember when Civil War was coming out, and Maggie and I were watching the trailers and like getting ready for the movie, and we were convinced that someone was gonna die.
Yeah,
we were convinced, and when Rhodey went down, we were like fucking toast.
I know it was because they showed it in the trailer.
That's fair. And we were like, oh, we didn't watch trailers at the time. We do now, but we didn't know that was going to happen. And so we were like, oh shit, like he's fucking, and then no, he's going to be fine. Like, blah, blah, blah. Stupid. And I remember walking out of that movie and being like, I feel cheated. Like we built up to this thing where like, this was like a big, intense, like deal. I feel like someone should have gone. But then, like, upon reevaluating it, that movie's kind of perfect. And, like, there's, like, you don't need to, like,
So,
I mean, it's just, like, the thing
but I hear you in that sentiment of, like.
I think where my thought process went is, like, now I have to get to the next book. And, like, there's, like, what? They're just going to be, like, crying over the fact that they fought a war. Like, okay. Like, it was so interesting to then see.
Apparently the second book is hornier.
She's on the 4th book.
Yes. Second book was horny. But for the movies, like it was so intriguing and like because like Endgame obviously ended and he died and it was like, okay, like how are they going to like move forward from this? So then you're excited for the next movie to see how like Spider-Man reacts because like obviously you saw that like I think the Spider-Man trailer was out at that point and you see him like mourning like him and like it would have been interesting to see like how like the people who were like, I guess like a major part of the Avengers films, like how do you move on from losing someone that had that big of an impact? Like we didn't really see much outside of like Spider-Man, like grieving that loss. And now you're just going to bring him back? Like, no.
Do you guys think if COVID had never happened and we had gotten the steady stream, so there hadn't been that wait from summer of 2019 where we got Avengers at the end of April and Spider-Man in July, and then we had to wait until the spring of 2021 to get WandaVision. So it was like a year, almost 2 years that we didn't have MCU. Do you think if Black Widow had come out a year later in May of 2020, like it was supposed to, and we had the steady stream, it would feel different? Or is the disappointment larger because the time we waited was larger?
I have takes on this. So, 2020 happened and the country shifted politically.
Correct.
So, Hollywood shifted along with it.
Correct.
Even more so than they already were, which was crazy.
Yeah.
They then infused all of that messaging into their projects. WandaVision's not that political. Black Widow, really not that political. It stars a woman, if you want to call that political, but I don't think so.
No.
But then they really start to get into the heavy. So all the projects that seemed like they were done and ready to go didn't have political messaging. But during the summer of 2020 is when it started shifting that far. And I think that's when they started infusing it all. And I think that's largely what sank them. But I also think they've shown that the people in charge are not capable of continuing the plan. And they were always going to do TV shows.
That I agree with. I think that I don't know that I agree with you on the political thing, and you and I see to eye most of the times on political stuff, but I feel like I know for a fact they infused COVID related things into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like it's just
it's and then they removed them.
What?
They removed those.
Yes, but there's still so many political things in that show. Like
correct. Because they reshot it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The show is political.
I'm saying I'm right. They reshot it.
I'm saying that show, but everything else, I don't know that I agree with you. Like Shang-Chi doesn't scream politics to me.
There's literally scenes in there where they talk about like Asian racism, which at the time was a big topic.
Truthfully, it has been a while since I've rewatched.
So no, Shang-Chi, which is a movie I like, quite frankly, is not on the whole political, but you can see the seedlings of them like putting these little tiny like social commentary scenes and things like that.
There are definitely
you get to something. What?
Like She-Hulk, like definitely, like you're definitely.
And you get to something like She-Hulk, which is its final form of all of it, all the messaging, like consume this, and it's I'm done over it.
No, and I mean I think most people.
And I think that all happened. I think that all happened because of what happened in 2020, because they had a break where they said we could put out dirt on a cracker, people would come pay us to look at it.
Yeah.
So let's put all this politics stuff in it that's currently going on in the world, and people will still pay us. Guess I'm done paying you. Tim can pay you, and then I'll watch it.
Do you think that? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess I never felt like
I could write a book on this.
Let me hang on.
Do it.
So looking back at the movies, I could you can make a point for Shang-Chi. I haven't rewatched it in a long time, but I take your word for it.
The only one that's really not is No Way Home, and guess who made that?
Sony.
Well, hang on, but like you're saying that like Multiverse of Madness, Love and Thunder, Quantumania, like where's the politics in those movies?
Michael Douglas literally calls the Society of Ants socialism and says it's a charged word.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
All of the rebels in the quantum realm are supposed to represent the people that were rioting throughout COVID.
I forgot about that. Guardians 3?
Guardians 3 less so, but it's because it's James Gunn. So like all the exceptions are like James Gunn's farewell. Sony making a Spider-Man.
Deadpool and Wolverine?
It's no, but like
no, I hear you. You're painting a better picture for me now. It's just I used to when this has nothing to do with the fact that there are TV shows. It has to do with the fact that we went from 20 movies to 40.
Anna, do you care about this conversation?
I'm here for the ride.
Great.
Well, then I'll wrap this up after this. But I used to watch the MCU like every year, and now that's just physically really hard to do with a kid. Everything else I want to watch, video games I want to play, running this shit with you. It's just hard to do. But I used to rewatch these movies a lot to the point where I've seen. Nick doesn't like the phases, but I've seen phase 4 and 5 quite a bit, probably more than the average person, and I don't remember shit about them. So all I'm hearing is that we should get on a call and do a live watch along to every post Endgame MCU film with Nick.
Yeah.
Film, okay, that actually wouldn't be the worst thing because I like Far From Home. I like Black Widow. I like Shang-Chi.
Eternals.
I love No Way Home. Eternals, meh. Thor: Love and Thunder, bad.
Multiverse of Madness.
Bad. Wakanda Forever,
Forever.
bad.
Marvels.
Quantumania, bad. Marvel's the worst movie they've ever made. What's worse than that?
I would rather watch that than the Incredible Hulk.
You're insane. You're not insane. You're welcome to have that opinion, but it's incorrect.
I love you. I'd rather watch that than. Well, actually, no. I take that back.
Yep.
I was about to say I'd rather watch it than Iron Man 3, but I think I take that back.
As you should.
Iron Man 3 is still one of my least favorites, but yeah.
It's okay, but at least it's got a character in it that you like versus 3 that you are.
I like Miss Marvel a lot.
She's fine.
Anyway.
But you're also told that you have to like her. Anyway.